Two takes on the teenage brain. News article summary. I chose the article Why Teenagers Act Crazy by Richard A. Freeman. I found this article on the New York Times and I thought it was very helpful and reliable. Teenagers face social and emotional challenges every day. Teens have a brain that is filled with a lot of fear and anxiety. It is also underdeveloped in reasoning and judgment. Different parts of the teenage brain develop at different rates, and the amygdala, which processes fear, develops ahead of the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is where the brain's reasoning and executive control are located. Teenagers are prone to trauma and injury because of their risk-taking. I think that the article is very relevant to current health and medical issues. In recent years, there have been so much talk about how teenagers are having to deal with so much adversity these days. The article helps to explain why so many of the things that teenagers are having to deal with occur in our world. Reliability of news article. I would conclude that the article is very reliable. The author of this article is a psychiatrist and has an understanding of the teenage brain. He is also a current practicing doctor at the University of Cornell. Although this website was a .com, it is still reliable because the author is a doctor. Similarities and differences. The similarities that I found with my cross-reference source and my New York Times article were that recent findings have shown changes that occur during a teenage years. Injury and mortality rates rise in teenage years. The cortex is where the thoughts and decisions are processed. Many teenagers experience a lot of anxiety. The differences that I found with my article and cross-reference source was in my cross-reference source, it stated, crime rates rise in males and rates of alcohol abuse rise. The brain does not start to resemble an adult until its early 20s. The use of medicines can result in anxiety and mood swings. Teens tend to binge drink when given alcohol, and reference source went into more detail. The motive for the news article. The author of the news article, also a psychiatrist, had the intention of educating people about the teenage brain. He also wanted to provide news about the recent discoveries that have improved the understanding of the teenage brain. My sources are stated below. I used my article from the New York Times and I cross-referenced the source and found it on National Institute of Mental Health.